Picture this. You are Fox Marble, elite mercenary, best of the best, there's no job you can't handle. But this one is your biggest yet. Board a spaceship and steal the Santana experiment. What's it do? No idea, but the paycheck is too big to ignore. This kind of job should be easy for you, just kick the door in and repaint the place, but the client doesn't want you to kill anyone. On a ship full of armed guards. And you have such a nice gun. Whatever. Pilot your pod and board the ship. Security's tight, but you have the tools for the job. A combo of a stealth shield and a time-slowing device lets you take keys right out of your enemy's pockets. Add in a teleporter that lets you slip past patrols and it's all going great. Until it isn't. Don't worry, his friend will be fine. Time to scram. Swap teleport with a guard at the rear of a patrol, sneak into the back, and grab the Santana experiment. Now you have to get off the ship, but your gadgets are nearly used up. Do you A. Try to sneak out the old-fashioned way, keeping the contract but risking your own hide, or B. Fight your way out, which is safer for you but will anger the client and cut into your margins? Neither, dumbass. C. Use your last time slow charge, Barry Allen your way through an airlock, and eject yourself into the vacuum of space. Remote control your pod to scoop yourself up before you asphyxiate, and make your way back to the station, Santana experiment and all. Payday. This is Heat Signature, a roguelike-ish from defenestration connoisseur Tom Francis released in 2017, and I need to be quite clear. What I just described was a completely routine mission. It was not scripted or a major story climax or any kind of engineered circumstance. It was a completely normal run at a daily challenge, and it's why I'm using my tiny platform and soon-to-be captive audience to tell as many people as I can why this game with procedural characters, random missions, and almost no dialogue is one of the funniest damn games I've ever played. Rewind time. Heat Signature is a spaceship raiding game with a simple gameplay loop. You take missions like thefts, assassinations, captures, rescues, or liberations. You fly your escape pod over, board the ship, execute the mission, and try to make it back in one piece. You have ongoing goals like your character's personal missions and the overall goal of liberating all the stations and eliminating the other factions, but the overall formula doesn't really change. So if you've got burned out dopamine receptors and need the game to give you an incentive to do anything but run low security missions over and over until you get to the flimsy story end, good for you, this isn't your kind of game, feel free to move on. But if you're fucking tremendous, you'll step up to the higher difficulties where you actually have to take the game's combat system seriously. Combat is real time with pausing, even letting you line up shots while doing so. Bullets are all one-hit kills, and there's a small time slow when you're spotted, technically making it possible to dodge bullets, which you'd think would all make the game trivial until you get enemies with shields, enemies with armor, defenders that make their allies invincible, trackers that know your location at all times, jammers that can go straight to hell, turrets, reinforcements, heat sensors, lifelink, and of course, weeaboos. See the impressive range of their N? Set 1 foot inside and they shunpo behind you, their fedora already tipped as their 1,000-folded Nippon steel teleports inside your gut. Nothing can dodge it, nothing can block it, nothing personnel, kid. So how do we overcome these overwhelming odds? Guns, my friend. Guns and gadgets. While a basic pistol might have a slow, sluggish, unbearably lethargic reload time of like half a second, sexier guns might have concussive rounds, quickfire, armor-piercing, or silence shooting. Then you load up with gadgets from your basic crash beam to your high-tech slipstream, and you begin to realize that every enemy has counterplay. Tracker on your tail? Crash their sensors and leave them helpless. Key to an important room got lost in an unfortunate incident? We have teleporters. Weeaboos on the prowl? Use a subverter to disrupt their chakra, causing their flying Raijin to malfunction and send them straight off the ship. And jammers can still go fuck themselves.
I'm trying to do a stealth run, you assholes.
This game isn't completely without story or dialogue, and what little it has is actually pretty damn funny.
It's a glitch or tradition. Every time you teleport, you're technically killing yourself and creating a replica, so we change our names to remember what number we are.
Teleporting kills me?
Not really. You're not a lump of flesh, you're a pattern. The pattern survives, the flesh lump gets fried.
It gets fried?
Yeah, but really, really fast. It doesn't hurt.
But that's not what makes this game hilarious. What does that is extreme action, a very high chance for things to go wrong, and so many unpredictable variables that every mission is a comedy of errors. You are December Hardlock, and you're here to hijack a ship in the name of the cause. Only problem, they're armed and you're not. Well, you have a weapon, it's a grenade launcher, but it fires hack. Shoot it at a turret, and it does this. Shoot it at a guy with a shield, and it does this. Do both, and you get this. You are Manahan Prophecy, and you're out to bring justice to some officers from Sovereign. You're in a bit of a rush, but your concussion hammer is just the tool for the job. Unfortunately, it doesn't work on a defender. No matter, you can easily remote control your pod, scoop yourself up, and get back into the fray. Never mind that jackass that just ejected your ship. Time to go ham with the hammer, and you got shot again. Ugh. I repeat, ham with the hammer. Concuss your target out the window and scoop him up. Except the controls don't really work well with grabbing your target first, and he dies. Oops. You are Tesh Lacerda, a pacifist out to rescue your brother from the glitchers. Normally, stealth is your way in. Unfortunately, that is no longer an option. Reinforcements are going to start flowing in, but you have the best gadgets in the business at this point. Teleport, clone a key, oh crap, that's a weeaboo. Quickly use Zetsu to avoid his notice. This last area is a bit tricky with the looped hallway and patrolling guards, but with some clever misdirection and time manipulation, you can juke your way through and get your bro out with no casualties and minimal property damage. Heat Signature is a machine for producing stories like these, and a game's systems have to be very intentionally designed to make it that way. A lot of it is due to a principle I like to call permanent consequences, but don't worry too much about it. On one hand, there's no going back on saves, mission objectives can be lost forever, bullets kill you in one shot, and of course, roguelike permadeath. But on the other hand, a single screw-up usually isn't the end of the world. One of my favorite things about this game is that the guards just dump you out an airlock when you're shot. First, very considerate that they let me get back into my pod, but second, it lets you roll with the punches and come up with new tactics when things go wrong. It's the same idea that makes, say, Honor Mode in Baldur's Gate 3 interesting. When you aren't losing party members over bugs that get patched 3 days later. I'm sorry, Gale baby, please come back to me. Sorry, where was I? Right. Saves coming that game gives you an impressive track record of successes, but if you're forced to live with your mistakes, they can drive you into more interesting situations where you have to improvise to come out on top, or get your ass kicked and come back with a grudge. Heat Signature is basically that, but replace all the epic fantasy with pure improvisational slapstick. So why did I make this video? I kinda just wanted to sing the praises of a game I liked, honestly. It's one that I feel like not a lot of people are going to remember. I'd say that I'm trying to change that, but look who's really listening to me, right? So I probably won't change it. But that's fine, really. Something doesn't need to have been in the zeitgeist for it to have been good, or personally meaningful to you. Everything's ephemeral, sometimes more so than we'd like to think. And if accepting that in terms of death or whatever is too big an ask right now, then we can start with baby steps. Like how it's okay for a video game to not be a progression-focused live service that tries to get you to play forever. 'Cause you won't play forever. One way or another. One day you'll stop. So, good a reason as any to fill your head with as interesting a variety of experiences as possible, right? But also not feel so bad about wrapping something up. I've got about 40 hours in Heat Signature, and I probably won't put in that many more. But that's okay, because I loved it enough to make this video, and hopefully that speaks for itself. I've been Retröspect, spaced after a botched robbery, but I'll be rolling a new character in no time. Thanks for watching. How long do you have to wait before they become two people?
It's a sliding scale. At first, it's one pattern in two places. As they diverge, the patterns become more different and more worthy of consideration as separate people.
When does it become a crime to murder one of them?
An hour. Seriously, that's a real law we passed. People replicators are illegal. But if a glitch goes wrong and you have too many yous, you've got an hour to legally kill them.
Wait, which one can kill the other?
We choose. Like how off-worlders pick what happens to their organs. We can register who gets priority in the event of a glitch dupe, new you or old.
Which did you go for?
New. I don't like to live in the past or get murdered by a past self. Which would you want?
I am never teleporting again.
Fine. Enjoy having to open doors and stuff.